You love it when a plan comes together. I think that's what I enjoy most about One Piece, when sometimes I can't even see things for the bigger picture and I react emotionally. I jump to conclusions because I want things then and now, and I want them at the time I want them. But typically when things finish, when things end, when they round out, it makes a lot more sense. What am I talking about? One Piece chapter 975, upon reading, was good. And this has been happening lately. Like, once I read a chapter, I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's cool. Then you go back, you're like, oh, this chapter was actually flames. So let's talk about 975. So, cover page, still don't care. People were worried about Shinobu last chapter because it wasn't clear where she was, but you could see Shinobu in the last chapter. But here, Shinobu, she's clearly, restricted or constricted by paintings of Kanjuro. So Kanjuro, he may be an issue in the future if he's not defeated right here. So we have to see exactly how that plays out. As it seems, the other forces made it to the meeting place. How? It's explained in the chapter. Some people may not have understood it, but it's pretty well explained and a pretty cool twist. So this was a cool way to tie things together. I mean, I love it when a plan comes together, and in this chapter, it showed you exactly why Oda was giving you all the different pieces of information that he was giving you, because it was leading to something. And sometimes, again, I admit, you can't see the big picture. Before anything, can we talk about the outfits of these characters? Luffy with the jacket, Sanji with the gloves, Nami with the armor, Zeus with the helmet thingy. Zoro still has on the same thing, but Zoro still looks badass. All right. I always live for the Straw Hat outfits, specifically Nami, because Nami's outfits, they normally have a different thing to them. But all the outfits, listen, Luffy with a jacket, Luffy with a coat. I have been waiting for Luffy to have the coat. I was hoping that post time skip, coming out of the time skip, after his time on Skyna, Luffy would have a coat. Now he does. So I'm really excited for that. But everybody looks great. I think Sanji, I don't know if Oda predicted or drew this because of the coronavirus going around and decided to give Sanji gloves because Sanji's a chef. That might be a reach. Because the chapter has been done. However, I mean, it was going on in China for a while. And on that note, guys, make sure you're washing your hands and taking care of yourself, because this coronavirus is pretty serious. And don't try not to touch your face if your hands are dirty, okay? Back to the chapter. Sanji having on black gloves, I think it's one of those things you didn't know you needed, but once you have it, you appreciate it because you're like, that's something I needed in my life. Sanji with black gloves, that should be part of his attire going forward because, he's a chef, you want to take care of his hands. Why not protect your fingernails as well? I'm here for it. So everybody's asking, where are the men? And if you go back to the chapters in which they were mobilizing, you talked about the 3,500 people from Udon and all the different people that were supposed to come together at this point. Where are they? And based on the past few chapters, even before the Oden flashback, it's implied that Orochi, based on the information gotten from Kanjuro, he destroyed the bridges and the ways for them to actually get to where they were trying to get to. So for us as the reader, we were like, well, it seems dire, all is lost, they may have to regroup at some point. That's not what's going on here. Before we get to the crux of this entire chapter, something that was kind of annoying was how the Straw Hat Sunny was okay. Again, this is not something that's a huge deal. However, it's very counterproductive that people are given a task: destroy the Sunny. And from what we see, they destroyed the outward cave where the Sunny was located. So of course the Sunny's going to be damaged a bit, but it didn't exactly destroy the Sunny. And so when things like that happen and the Sunny comes back and like, well, we destroyed that ship, but even if we didn't destroy it, we destroyed everything else. They cannot travel, they cannot cross over. You guys are sitting ducks. There are no bridges, so what are you guys going to do exactly? Well, what they didn't account for was Boss Kyushiro. And Kyushiro came through in a big way, and now Oda showing us or giving us Kyushiro in the last chapter, it makes more sense now why Oda would give us Kyushiro a couple of chapters ago, as opposed to having him wait to deceive Orochi in a different way. However, in this chapter, Kyushiro, or Denjiro, whatever you want to call him, he managed to free everyone from the Rotetsu district. And those are the same men that they watched Yasui die, and they were just waiting for an opportunity to fight for Oden and fight for Wano. So him being Orochi's trusted advisor, remember, he was left in charge of the capital. So all these prisoners, he freed them, and now they're fighting for the Alliance. The Alliance is up to 5,400 people. And in chapter 954, Sanji says the goal was to get to 5,000 people. Of course, they're going up against 40,000, but we have a Conqueror's Hockey user on our team that can wipe out 50,000 pretty easily. So yeah, I think we'll be okay. And we have to factor in the possibility of the Grand Fleet coming in as well. So there's things we have to consider here. A high part of the chapter, though, is the trio, Luffy, Law, and Kid. And of course, the ships show up. I thought that they would each destroy a ship, but one ship was used for Kyoshiro to flex. But each of them, they're kind of jockeying for position. At first, I thought Law was ruled out. Like, Law, at that point, he had no chance as far as like being on the same platform with those two. But it seems like Law is still competing. He's still trying to prove himself. So him using Room, Luffy going Bound Man, Kid going Punk Rotten, that panel was beautiful because you expect that this is somewhat a portrayal thing. I don't think it's that significant because they had this before in Sabaody, which those three, it seemed like they were equally matched, but no, they're not. Okay, they're just not. But it's a cool moment showing that each of these captains are capable. Even the people were saying, yo, these captains are scary. But I liked Luffy in which he said, why are underlings talking so crazy? Where did they get this confidence from? And I like for Luffy knowing that he's a leader, acknowledging that I'm at the top of the food chain here. In regards to this bubble right now, why are you guys talking like that and underestimating us? But for the guys, they felt like, well, we already captured Kid, we already captured Luffy, they're overrated. Why are we hyping them? Let's just capture them again. But for Luffy, he had to set them straight, as well as Kid and Law, and let them know that we're not going to be pushovers, and so I really enjoyed that. Kid's attack was probably the cleanest because, again, we haven't seen a lot of Kid, so anything we see of Kid at this point, we're really excited for. Him and Luffy seem to be, you know, close, intense rivals. Law at this point seems like he's trying to creep back into that trio. We'll see how it goes. But something I also wanted to mention was with the Kyoshiro stuff and him revealing himself to the Scabbards, this wouldn't be significant without the Mountain God incident. Do you guys remember when that happened? Everyone was like, why is this the thing? Why are you showing us this? Why is Kinemon and Denjiro having such an important part to Oden's backstory? This is the reason why. Because now, knowing the backstory, knowing that Denjiro and Kinemon were the only people around when he did all that thing with the whiteboard, with the Mountain God, or the Mountain God's kid, automatically he knows it's Denjiro. So I really appreciate that moment now from the past in which we just find out about the Mountain God incident, because again, a plan comes together and now you feel a lot better about moments like that because it served a purpose, and I really enjoyed it. I really like that we're tying things in. Some people saying it's an information dump, or just trying to get all this like stuff out the way, Kyoshiro, maybe Kanjuro, but I like the route the story is going because it is a bit quickened, but it seems like Oda's trying to get to the war. And for most One Piece fans, I think we're ready for the war. We're ready for the fighting. We're ready for people to go at it. Some insane reveals, some insane power-ups. Personally, I'm really excited for that. But I liked how Kyoshiro still looks up to Kinemon and say, you know what, Master Kin, you were in charge of this. You intentionally told your closest advisors the fake port so that Orochi would not know exactly what port to go to, and he went to the wrong port and destroyed the Great Bridges, but not exactly accounting for what was happening or the exact port that they were going to be located, which was Port Habu. So it's a very complicated, complex explanation because it's more so towards a Japanese fan base. They would understand it instantly. But for us English readers and English users, we're kind of like, huh? And that's fine to be like, huh? Because at that point, it's like, it's not meant for us. However, the easiest way I can break this down is that, you know, with the lines added, Kinemon thought this was changing the port and we're going to Tokage. And this was to throw off Orochi and to throw off anyone not really from Wano and wouldn't understand what exactly is happening. But it seems like Orochi was the one that didn't understand because Kyoshiro is telling him exactly like, okay, because you did that, we were able to outsmart Orochi. And something I just remembered with Kyoshiro, he said he didn't want to reveal himself to the Scabbards until they knew who the traitor was. And seemingly he popped up at the same time Kanjuro revealed himself. So there was a reason for him to be delayed as far as like revealing his interactions. But I think so far Kyoshiro, based on everything he's done, is probably the MVP of Wano. I know I made the video about Kanjuro being the MVP, but guys, I mean, I wasn't serious, all right? Right now, the MVP of Wano is absolutely Denjiro. He has done everything in his power to put the Scabbards in a great position to succeed in Onigashima. So I'm really enjoying Denjiro's character. I really am. But Kinemon's fuck up essentially made it possible for them to get to this place. And it's a beautiful panel because he's like, right, yes. And it's the funniest thing ever when I was reacting to it on my other channel, Brago DAs. It didn't hit me initially, but then after going back and knowing the context of what happened and how it happened, it's hilarious because Kinemon is just like, yeah, yes, I'll take it. I'll take the credit. A really great chapter. Even Kanjou's realizing, yo, I really didn't do anything. I probably made it worse. And I love that because we expected Kanjou to get his comeuppance at some point. I didn't expect it to come this chapter. Of course, nothing happened to him, but just his facial expressions and how upset he is, noticing how dire the situation is. I loved it. I loved it. Even though I appreciate Kanjou for what he is and what he brought to the table and the things that he did that led to the things that we love. However, he's a sleazeball. He's a slime ball. I mean, yeah, he has no real purpose and he's acting, but he's actively betraying his friends, betrayed Odin, led to Wano being in this impoverished state. Kanjou may get what's coming to him, but guys, give me your thoughts. What do you think about the chapter? I thought it was a really good chapter. Oda tying things in, letting us know, okay, these are the reasons why I do things like this, and that's why it's so hard sometimes to read week to week to One Piece, because we jump to conclusions. I do the same thing, a lot of people do as well, but we jump to conclusions, we make our own headcanon facts. It sometimes leads to disappointment because it's not what we expected, so therefore it's bad, but that's not life. That's not how it should be. At least that's what I think. But guys, give me your thoughts. What do you think about the chapter? Did you like it? Are you messing with the new Straw Hat drip? Except for Zoro, he has the same thing on, you know, his bathrobe. But anyway, let me know what you think. Guys, chill. I love Zoro, all right? Just chill. All right? Just chill. But make sure to like the video and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for your support. Follow me on Twitter at BroggoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BroggoD.ace. Check me out on Twitch. I'll be live on Twitch tonight where we'll be talking One Piece, playing video games, all that stuff. I've been streaming every night for the most part. So if you guys are bored, if you want to come through, if you want to check me out, if you want to ask me anything, follow me on twitch.tv/BroggoDAce. That's where I will be. Links in the description down below. Shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channels. Both definitely help. So thank you guys so much. I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.